everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be going to 7 of one of the most, I guess, popular bookstores in New York City. I'm going to be rating them based on their pricing, on their aesthetic, and on their location, as well as their selection of books. The first bookstore that I went to is obviously Barnes & Noble's. It is one of the biggest Barnes & Noble's in the US, I believe. As we know, Barnes & Noble's has all the books you need and you want. Has mangas, comics, educational books, romance, fantasy, thriller, mystery, classics, philosophy, everything you need. It also has a section where they sell record players and vinyls and CDs, so I really enjoyed that area very much. Okay, so the location's obviously very good. I feel like the location for all of these stores are pretty easy to find and to go to if you live in New York, or maybe if you want to visit New York. So the location is good for Barnes & Noble's. Obviously the selection of books, once again, good. Now, the pricing, especially like hardcovers or special edition, they're normally pretty expensive, but they're like really expensive at Barnes & Noble's. Most of their books are not that affordable, and if you love to buy books, I would not recommend you to buy them at Barnes & Noble's because they are overpriced. The second bookstore that I went to was McNally Jackson's bookstore. Now, I do prefer this over Barnes & Noble's. They have an amazing selection of books, from cooking books to literally everything, to journals even, and knickknacks. And obviously the McNally Jackson's bookstore is known for the staircase, so I'm gonna just be showing you guys like pictures, but it's known for its staircase, and there's usually poetry books up there. But yeah, the location, once again, it's located in Soho, so the location's very nice, very quiet as well. I feel like in Barnes & Noble's it's more crowded, but it's like in a pretty empty, quiet street. So it's like not inside, so the location is good. The pricing, it is expensive as well. It's not cheap. I would say it is a bit cheaper than Barnes & Noble's, but still pretty expensive. Maybe like only some of the books are like cheaper, but it's definitely better than Barnes & Noble's. And it feels cozier, especially if you go there during like the winter time or fall time. Third bookstore is the Drama bookstore. Now, I've never been to this store, so it was my first time there, but obviously if you didn't know anything about the Drama bookstore, it's a bookstore, they sell a lot of like plays, and they sell a lot of plays, obviously other books as well, but it is known for, the books floating in the air, so that was very beautiful to see. But other than that, there are obviously like paintings, board showcasings, and yeah, I would say it is like a smaller bookstore, and it's very crowded. I wouldn't say it's like a bookstore that I would recommend you guys to go and buy books. It's more of just like a museum type of bookstore, Fourth bookstore, and yeah, I feel like everybody knows about this bookstore because of like the ceiling and like with the astrology symbols and everything. Number one, beautiful to see. The books are pretty reasonably priced. Now, obviously it's New York, so obviously the books are going to be expensive, but it is like a more like small local type of bookstore, so it is cheaper. It feels very cozy. There aren't a lot of people there. When I went, there were only like 2 people. Fifth bookstore is one inside of Chelsea Market. It's smaller and it's really crowded, but they had a great selection of mangas, the popular books, also a lot of kids stuff. I also found a Charlie XCX pin in there, so that's great. They had a selection of every single genre in there, which I appreciate. The price is average. Next, I went to the bookstore from the TV show You. On the inside, it's obviously not like the show, because the show obviously didn't film in that bookstore. It only filmed like on the outside. Obviously, I entered. It was so like small and tight. I think it's like a library more than a bookstore. I don't think they sell books, probably, but not a lot. It was so small that I could not even like go through. There was a cat like on this like little chair. I have it posted on Instagram. The cat is always there. The last time I went there as well, when I posted that on Instagram, it was there and it was still there. So I think it's like the owner's cat or whatever. But yeah, I think it's cute. I didn't really explore it that much. I mostly cared about the outside. So I don't know if that counts. The next bookstore is the Strand bookstore. This bookstore is famous, but it's, you know, I feel like Barnes & Noble's and the Strand bookstore are like the most famous bookstores, especially in New York. Very chaotic. Not because like it was full. I wouldn't say it was like crowded. It was normal, but they had like books everywhere, like in the middle, to the side. Like it was very like cluttered with books. But yeah, they had very cute like ornaments. Had this whole selection of like blind book dates. I think that's what they call them. Obviously, like they cover up the book and they write like the description of it. So they had like a whole table just with those books, and then obviously they had like classics. They had a lot of books. They had everything. So their selection is good. The pricing is, I would say, like the same as Barnes & Noble's. It is also located in Soho. They also had like a bunch of magnets and postcards, you know, tote bags. Very good. I like it a lot. By the way, I'm only talking about like the more famous bookstores. I'm not talking about like local bookstores, which I do recommend you to buy or purchase your books from local bookstores, because obviously the prices are usually lower, and you know, support your, you know, bookstore. So comment down below if you want to see a video of me doing the same thing, but instead of like more known bookstores, like local bookstores. These are all the bookstores that I went to. So not 7, 6. The reason why I said 7 is because I went to like it was mostly like a comic shop instead of a bookstore. They did have a bunch of books, but it was mostly comics and Funko Pops and figurines. But I think I'm gonna do a separate video on that, so stay tuned for that video. Because I got something. So, and I think this video is a little, like, it's getting too long, so I think I'm gonna just leave that for another video. That is it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and comment down below what other videos you want to see. Make sure you subscribe to support me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.